Coming all the way from deep in the heart of Texas for us, this woman is the voice of experience. Who are you? I am the voice of experience. Well, pleased to meet you. I'm the voice of Joel Comm.
Oh boy.
She has worked in corporate life. She has taught high school. She's done direct sales. She has been there and done that both professionally and personally. She is an overnight mom to two toddlers through adoption. Yay, you. Her priorities instantly changed when that happened, and so did her workplace. She's now built several businesses and coached others to do the same while overcoming extreme debt, losing 110 pounds, which I found, and having two more children for a total of four children, ages infant through 12. She is the first lady of Twitter. Please welcome Ms. Carrie Wilkerson.
Thank you.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi, how are you, Joel?
Good. We're about to get...
the first lady of Twitter. I dig that.
Do you like
That's
it?
Awesome. I love it. It's so much better than queen or diva or whatever. First lady. Yeah.
If we write an
and
article...
I'm in D.C.
You're in D.C.?
And I'm in Washington.
You're at Yonex.
Yeah, I'm at Underground. I just got off a plane and got here to run from the hotel room. I'm in a hotel room, see? I just got here to fire it up because I wanted to do this with you.
Well, I'm so glad you did, and really appreciate you joining us. And is our stream good there, guys? Are we having...
It's locking up intermittently.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're just going to push through, even if it's locking up intermittently. Are you hearing me okay, Carrie?
Yeah, I hear you great.
Okay.
Am I freezing?
Well, Washington, D.C. shouldn't be that cold right now.
You need to stop. You need to stop with the comedy.
Just quit it.
So,
I don't get paid to do comedy. So
right. Stop.
Twitter, you are like a virtual overnight sensation on Twitter. At least it looks like that to people who see you now. But this has actually been, what, about a year?
On Twitter about 6.5, 7 months.
And so now I got to look at your account now because you have a lot of followers for somebody who has just been on Twitter for 6 and 7 months.
Now, I started my account in April. I had a VA start my account in April because I thought it was going to be silly and ridiculous. So I had a VA start it, and then I never did anything with it until the end of July. And I think we're closing in on 16,000 followers probably in the next few days. I hope that we're going to close in on 16,000 friends.
I'm thinking right now, those of you who are not following Carrie on Twitter, go to barefoot_exec and follow her right now.
You can find me at Twitter Barefoot also, twitterbarefoot.com.
Oh, does that go directly to your Twitter account?
Yes, it does.
That's actually pretty smart because that's easy. Now, you chose your name that you chose, Barefoot Exec, is your brand. Talk about that.
The Barefoot Executive, actually, I'm from the South, in case you misplaced the...
We're breaking up some audio there.
I was...
Hang on, Carrie. We're working on some technical issues here. And I don't know,
can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. Is the bandwidth there in the hotel the problem, or?
It probably is because it's wired.
Try moving around the room a little bit and see if you can pick up a better signal.
Nice. That's sneaky. You're sneaky.
This is live,
I don't know.
Let's face it, internet technology is still in its relative infancy. More and more people are getting broadband and
maybe because she's not grounded, she doesn't have shoes on.
Oh, Dan suggests you're not grounded, you don't have shoes on.
That's probably it. If you have shoes on, the signal would be much, much better, Dan.
Yes.
Hang on. Let me see. Plug in the plug thing. I shouldn't be allowed to do technical stuff.
That's okay. We can go with it, Chris. We're going to get this figured out.
I'll wait till she gets back. You still got audio.
Okay. So we're still live. And, Carrie, the forces that be are somehow trying to stop the Barefoot Exec for speaking her piece. Those of you that are trying to message this account directly on Ustream, we'd ask that you don't. We can't answer that account. We're just seeing it on a monitor. There's no way to answer you. So if you can not message us directly on Ustream and just talk in the public stream, that would be really helpful.
We've lost
We've lost her. Oh no. Carrie, come back to
She'll
us.
be back.
Is she still on Skype? Got her like that. We just throw out the Carrie bait and reel her back in.
Here I am.
There you are. There's so many people here waiting for you. They love you.
I know. I'm sorry. We have some great barefoot fans, don't we? Hi, everybody. Mwah, mwah.
Okay. Are we pulling her back up on the screen? Great. We got a lot of people in here. They want to hear what you've got to say, and they want some Twitter tips from you. In fact, this is the beginning of
Chris,
what
can you
they're going to
change
learn
that?
from
You
you
should-
on Twitter, because you're going to actually teach for an entire hour in a webinar for our social media boot camp, which starts on March 2nd.
Right.
And
And you know, I have resisted every invitation to do that, Joel, but I cannot tell you no. So for you, I'm going to teach Twitter tips.
well,
Only for you.
and I appreciate that. How about we throw out a few tips for those that are following the show right now? Give us some meat. Give us something that we don't hear every day about using Twitter.
Okay. Here's the deal. This is kind of how I function in business and how I prefer to function in social media. I prefer to attract people to me rather than attack people. So I don't teach an aggressive strategy of going out to find people and add a lot of followers and then they'll auto follow back. I don't advocate that. I advocate following people that you're interested in, but then when you're offering conversation and content and that kind of thing, then I think people will come to you and then you're more magnetic, and then the quality of the people that follows you is better. To say than 35,000 people that are only following me because they're auto following me and I have some kind of system in place. So that's kind of how I function with that. And I think that's kind of an uncommon strategy. The fact that I don't have a strategy maybe is uncommon.
You're on
And I
Twitter
hear
an
you
awful
laugh.
lot.
Well, it seems that way.
It does. So is in reality, do you do your tweets in bulk?
I do. You know, I have TweetDeck, which I love, and with TweetDeck, I can keep it open, and it'll ping me if if I'm filtering certain messages. I have groups set up, but I tend to do a lot in the morning when I'm gearing up for my day. I do a lot in the evening, but it's like any conversation, and I think you're the one I heard say this, that you just kind of have conversation when it comes naturally. If something occurs to you, or if you want to share something with a group of friends, a lot of people will get on the phone, a lot of people will send an email, but I just take it to Twitter. And that's kind of a phrase around my house now. I'll tell my husband, don't make me take that to Twitter. Don't
Take it to Twitter.
don't make
go
me
there.
tell everybody about that. And I tell my mastermind group the same thing. We're going to take this to Twitter if you guys really push me on this. So it's just conversational for me. I avoid the telephone. I work by myself at home. Well, with my husband, but it's really kind of the water cooler. It's just a conversation. It's not a task. It's not something I have to do. It's not something I have scheduled to do. It's just really a flow for me. It's just a part of who I am now and how I choose to interact.
So are you, when you Twitter, do you do it strictly on your computer, or do you tweet from your cell phone?
I do have a BlackBerry, and I Twitter from the web interface there. But primarily, I'm still on the computer most of the time.
I am too. I love my iPhone, and I use Tweety on my iPhone to Twitter when I'm on the move. And the thing I like about that is I could take a picture and put it in my
Right.
tweet, and it goes up to TwitPic. People
Right, I love
love
that.
to be able to see.
They like being on location with you. It's like man on the street. They like being where you are. And with mobile media, which I know you're very instrumental in mobile media and marketing, it's crucial that we be mobile with our communication. And a lot of people use their cell phone to talk, and I use mine to tweet and to text. It's just how I prefer to communicate. And I'd like to think of myself as an efficient communicator. Some people will say, "Oh, Twitter's a waste of time." Well, I can have a conversation with one person at a time, or I can have a conversation with 16,000 people at a time, knowing that maybe 15 or 20% are listening at once. You're never going to hit everybody at the same time, but I think that makes me a little more efficient than somebody who's trying to communicate one-on-one all the time.
So let's talk about the future of Twitter. They just got some massive funding. I think they're up to what, 50, 55 million now that they've got in their war chest. And
Wow.
what are they going to do? How are they going to monetize this thing?
That's the multi-million dollar question, Joel. I don't have any idea. I've been kind of watching to see, first of all, don't give me too much credit. I'm not looking too far down the road with that. As long as I get to use it and I can have fun with it, that's great. Would I still use it if they charged me for it? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would pay for access to Twitter. I think it would cull the audience down somewhat, but I would still pay to have access. I think they may, I don't think they're going to be as banal as, ads and things like that. I really don't know. It may be featured placement. It may be, I can't even guess. It may be just that what they're doing is amassing as many users as they can, and then they'll sell to Google or sell to somebody bigger. I don't know, but I do hope they'll use some of that funding for infrastructure and for some improvements of systems. I never complain about Twitter because it's free. It's a free platform, and I dig it. But, if there were a little more functionality in the direct message feature where I could bulk delete or forward or things like that, then I really would like to see them use some of that funding for some infrastructure improvements. And I think once they do that and they make it a little more stable and a little clearer on their infrastructure, then I think there'll be a really amazing sellable asset, because there's a very high pain of disconnect there for hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what people will be willing to pay to use Twitter. And somebody made a comment just a couple screens ago about, don't they have enough? You have to realize that that's just venture capital being poured into Twitter to grow it. That's not profit for Twitter. That's an investment into the company. And I'm being told right now that, Carrie, another great on Twitter is, we're being told is watching right now, Demi Moore. Hi, Demi. Good to see you, and
Hi, Demi.
Would love for you to come on and join us for a bit. We're doing something really special here. We're raising money for waterislife.com. It's a 501c3 that is sending these water purification straws to Kenya, parts of Africa where their water is just not drinkable. Lots of diseases and bacteria in the water there. And for $10, we can send one of these straws. Looking to send 20,000 of them in August. So how's our stream doing, guys? Looks like it's a little clunky here.
It depends on it seems like it's depending on where you're watching it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We're hearing some places it's a little harder than others. So, Demi, if you'd like to be on and bring Ashton with you, or come by yourself, just DM me on Twitter at Joel Comm, JoelComm, so we can get you hooked up with a Skype and be able to bring your video on. Carrie, back to you, because you are still the first lady of Twitter. I think you should start using that name as well. What do you think?
I'm going to. I'm trademarking that today.
Go for it. And, I like giving people names that they deserve. It's like, what I call Ken MacArthur, right?
The nicest guy on the internet.
Nicest guy in internet marketing. There's a lot of nice people on the internet. And he would definitely qualify, to be in that top 10 of nicest guys on the internet, but the nicest guy in internet marketing. There is a dispute. Yeah. There is now a dispute taking place in Ustream. One person is saying Coach Deb is the first lady of Twitter. It's going to be a Coach Deb barefoot exec cage match.
No, it's not going to be any kind of cage fight. If she would like the title, if she needs the title, she can have it. Well, I'm okay with barefoot executive.
Aren't you sweet? Well, it's a great brand.
Just do a book and call it First Ladies of Twitter.
There's a book for you, Carrie, right there.
First Ladies of Twitter. There you go. And actually, the truth is that Deb and Mari, Coach Deb and Mari Smith, are two of the women that when I got on Twitter, I purposefully followed them and modeled what they were doing. And, that's one thing I teach in my business coaching, is that when you want to be successful at something, you find somebody who's doing it well and you model their behavior. And yes, you make it your own at some point and you personalize it yourself and do some things differently. But if you really want to achieve the level that someone else has, you model their behavior. And That's the bestest way. The bestest way. There you go. There's the mom in me coming out. That's the best way, is to find somebody you admire who's doing it well, model their behavior. Quit trying to figure it out on your own. Quit trying to read every book about it, except for Twitter Power, of course, and model the behavior of someone who's doing it well. And absolutely, Coach Deb and Mari Smith were two of the first ladies that I followed and that I attribute a lot of my, Twitter learning from.
And of course, 4 hours of sleep, folks.
See, I'm rubbing off on you.
Yeah, of course. They're both going to be joining us here today on the Tweet-A-Thon.
Yes, I know.
Later today. So I'm looking forward to speaking with them as well. So you're at Yonex Underground in Washington, D.C. Are you speaking?
I am. I am speaking Saturday at 1:45.
And what are you going to be talking on?
Here's an interesting fact for you, Joel. I've only been online for 18 months. And last year, the Underground was my very first event ever. I was very new in business. And I got on stage as an example. A lady asked for volunteers, and I got on stage. And as I was on that stage, I walked off and I called my husband and I said, I will be on stage as a speaker next year at Underground 5. I will make that happen. They will want to use me as an example of what you can accomplish in 1 year online.
So would you call that a law of attraction moment? Was that a secret moment, or was that just...
Okay, you're trying to start something. I know you. You know what that was? That was a goal that I set. I stood there and I made it very clear in my mind that I could make that happen if I modeled the right behavior from the right people, if I applied everything I had learned and I took massive action to completion. I focused like a laser beam for 11 months. And I connected with the people that could make that happen. I showed them I was willing to take action and make it happen, and it happened. That's not law of attraction. That's law of massive action, is what that is.
I have to agree with you, and I'll stop
right there. That is no secret.
Yeah,
that's no secret, Joel. That's the answer. No secret.
That's the way it is. Carrie, thanks so much for joining us. I'm sorry that for whatever reason the video and audio are a little choppy for some people. For a lot, it's working great. It was working perfectly before, and it's not you. It just is what it is. It's Dan.
It's Dan. It's all Dan.
It's Dan. So, hey, thanks for joining us. Have a great time at Yonex. Say hello to the folks there that know me. Tell them I'm sorry I can't be there this time around. And I will look forward to catching up with you soon. And, of course, you'll be teaching week number 4 at the Social Media Boot Camp. We're going to be teaching Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And anybody who wants to register for that, once they've got Twitter Power, that boot camp actually comes with it. You could scroll down the screen and register for the Social Media Boot Camp. We'd be happy to have you and glad that you could be with us as well.
And the night that I'm teaching that is actually my birthday, Joel.
Oh, how about that?
So boot camp on my birthday. How much more fun could a girl have?
That's the 23rd, right?
The 23rd of March.
23rd
That's right.
of March.
Nice.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we will have a little extra celebration then on your birthday for session 4 of the boot camp. Have a great time, Carrie. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Twitter Power.
Appreciate y'all. Bye, Twitter Power. Bye-bye.
Twitter Power.
Bye, Carrie.